they ended up winning this game
Mhm.
27-24 on Thursday night on a short week with a bunch of new guys against a really good team, less than 100%. That matters a lot. And I tweeted immediately after the game, it was a gritty win. It was a very gritty win by the Chiefs. They don't have to do stuff like that. Last season, they maybe lose games like this where stuff isn't going their way. You can tell early on this is an Andy Reid bad play calling or Eric Bieniemy bad play calling, or this guy's not playing well. This group isn't playing well. The Chiefs are going to face an uphill battle to keep it close, and they had stretches last year that early season where they were giving up a ton of points. The defense wasn't able to make up or offset the offense not being elite. The offense was far from elite against the Chargers. It was good, or it was solid, I guess. It got the job done with 27 points. The defense, though, scored 7 of those. The
Mhm.
defense came up with a bunch of third down stops. The defense came up with multiple sacks. The defense came up with an interception. The defense came up with tackles for loss. The Chiefs' defense was far more important, I think, to the win than the offense. You can put up points if you need to, if you want to. You have to have defensive stops on the other side. You got Willie Gay had 11 tackles. He had some missed tackles. Don't get me wrong. He struggled. He had probably equal good and bad plays, I want to say. Nick Bolton had 10 tackles. He had a couple good stops. Chris Jones was, I thought, phenomenal. And I haven't given him his props always, I don't think. This one, the box score and the tape matched up. Sometimes I think there's a big discrepancy there. He had 3 tackles, he had 2 sacks. He had a pass batted down. He had a couple of really nice pressures on the interior. He was a game wrecker when the Chiefs needed him to be a game wrecker, including, I think, one of those sacks came in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs, man, that's without mentioning Rashad Fenton had a bad game. He had a couple first quarter holding penalties. Like, not everybody was perfect. The defense, though, down the stretch, man, even with the last touchdown where LA had a chance the onside kick, yada, yada, they made plays. And that's without mentioning, Mark, because you were there for this, the Jalen Watson pick 6.
That was incredible. That brought the house down. Literally, that's cheesy to say, but it literally did. Everybody went ham when that happened. And the Chiefs defense, I would say, between after the first Chargers drive to start the second half where they got a touchdown and the last Chargers drive where they got a touchdown, the Chiefs defense played incredible for most of the third quarter and most of the fourth quarter. The first half was up and down, but the second half was pretty solid. That touchdown by Jalen Watson, that was, I don't know what Herbert was thinking, honestly, on that
Mm-hmm.
pass after I saw the replay, but that was a great job by him to be in the spot, to get the interception, to run it back 99 yards for a touchdown, to come straight at the end zone that I was sitting at and do a dance as he was getting toward the goal line. That was, man, that was a play. That was a game changer. That flipped the script. That was a 14-point swing, because
Yeah.
that was a first and goal pass by Justin Herbert that went for a pick 6. So if he would have dropped it, or if it would have been overthrown, it would have been second and goal. They probably would have got a touchdown, or at the least a field goal. So that was the play of the game for sure. And what I didn't realize till after the game, when I was driving home listening to some of the post game, I guess Karlaftis said that Willie Gay tipped the ball
Oh, really?
on that play. Yeah.
Huh.
So I didn't realize. I'm going to go back and watch it again after we're done with the pod here. But yeah, Karlaftis said that Gay got a hand on it or deflected it or something like that. So
Huh.
I guess that's good job on Willie. And Big George, man, he wasn't in the stat sheet, but he was all
He
over the
was
place.
close.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
all over the place today. And I loved his quote after the game. He said that he was never gonna forget this experience, the crowd noise, how they couldn't signal each other during the game. Like,
Yeah.
they had to use like silent hand signals, because he said that he's never experienced anything like that in his life playing football. So He said to keep up the energy to the fans, but he said it's definitely difficult for the opposing team's offense, but also the defense.
This was a this was a gritty win. And I think I said it earlier on in the podcast. I tweeted it out after the game. This was a gritty win by the Chiefs. And I know it's week 2. I know that it's early. The Chiefs team that everybody saw in week 1 that beat the brakes off the Cardinals was definitely not the Chiefs team that everybody saw in week 2 that struggled to beat the Chargers, but things change every week. This is a 2-week sample size. Chiefs play the Colts on, I think it's September 25th, next Sunday. Colts are a decent team. Like, they could make the playoffs. They could win their division. The Chiefs' early season slate, you just have to be content. If you're them, you have to be happy with the result, I guess. The process you have to fine tune. The Chiefs have stuff to improve upon. The offense took a massive step back. The defense, I think, took a step up down the stretch. I think, although the performance may not be wire to wire as impressive as it was against the Cardinals, doing so what they did against a better opponent and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm glad Herbert's okay, by the way. I know he got hurt during the game. To do what they did was impressive. And offensively, to pull out just enough plays they needed to win, whether it's Justin Watson touchdown or the Clyde Edwards-Helaire big run, whatever it was. I think Mahomes had a really nice play to Kelsey that set up a first and goal situation. They had the right amount of plays, the right amount of guts, the right amount of, despite the decision-making being poor in the first half, general decision-making. This was a tough win by the Chiefs. They had a lot of stuff working against them. Most of it was their own fault, but I think it showed a lot about this team.